I'm sure you get a ton of questions about Conor and his persona. Have you had any conversations with him outside of talking trash? Has he come to you and been like, hey, this is
nah,
who
man.
I am? Or?
This isn't a show. He believes this, and I don't. And that's what's going to make it great. But a while back before I was right before the Brendel fight was announced, I was in Manchester for doing some PR stuff with the UFC, and me and Conor actually had dinner, sat across from the table from each other, and he was an okay guy.
So you're fine with him going out, doing what he's got to do here? Like, I mean, obviously selling the fight, making it interesting. You're fine with all that because you get the fight.
Right? No, I need that. That's good for me because he says all this, and then I beat him up. It's great for me. I feel like you need guys like this in your career, and but he believes it, man. And like I said, I don't. So.
Do you ever look at what he's done in his rise? Because it's been, I can't recall anybody getting as big as fast as he has. Do you ever look at him and go, maybe I should do some of that stuff, or maybe some other people, maybe the rest of us should learn from Conor?
It's good. Like I said, people are attracted to it. They want to see him talk. They love the hype, and then watch him fight after he talks all this, see if he can back it up and stuff like that. But that's not me. Some guys are like that. I can show him better than I can tell him, kind of deal, I don't feel like I need to hype it up and talk. We're going to fight, If I feel like I need to say something, I'll say it. I'm not going to bite my tongue, but I'm also not going to go overboard and focus on trash talk and all that, But it doesn't affect me, as a fighter or as a person. Have a lot of amateur fights, and this is my 11th fight in the UFC, so I've been around the press and stuff like that, but never fought somebody who talked as much trash, but I know all the trash talk and all the fans and stuff doesn't matter. September 27th is me and him. So,
looking back at all those years ago when you filmed Fightville, all that stuff, and how far you've come since then. Looking back, it's pretty amazing to think like, here I am, kid from Louisiana, and I'm here getting ready to be on one of the biggest shows of the year.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. And then right before I flew out, leaving my house, I was thinking that, like, wow, man, I've come a long way. I used to dream of stuff like this when I was an amateur fighter and working a full-time job and trying to make ends meet fighting and stuff. This was a dream to me, and now I'm here on stage next to John Jones, the champ. I'll be holding the belt one day, and it's just, you can go out and get anything you want if you work hard enough for it and believe in yourself. So.
What was it about this fight that interested you? Because he hasn't accomplished what you've accomplished. It's kind of a quick fight for him moving up the ranks. So why was this one that interested you?
Tell you the honest truth, I kind of feel like a victim of a circumstance with the division. A lot of the top guys are tied up. No telling how long I'll be waiting, if I want to fight a top 3, top 4 guy. It could be 4 or 5 months, and I don't want to wait that long, man. I want to stay busy. I'm young, I'm having fun, I'm healthy, and I'm learning every day. And I feel dangerous, man. And, he kept talking more and more hype, and I was like, man, nobody's going to step up and close this guy's mouth. This is my house. You know what I mean? I've built where I'm at from the ground up. And so I started taking it disrespectful. And nobody else wanted to step up, and I didn't have a fight, and I didn't want to wait for a fight, and I saw an opportunity here to maybe headline a card or be on a big pay-per-view, get a lot of publicity, get a lot of light on the featherweight division, and get to shut this guy's mouth.
Think about him as a fighter. I mean, people are trying to make out, is he for real? Are his skills legitimate? What are your thoughts?
Tell you the honest truth, I don't think a guy from Ireland gets to this level and gets this much hype about him by accident. He's fought some fights and had some good highlights finishes in Ireland and stuff like that. And man, he's 3-0 in the UFC. He talks a little bit more than he does in the cage, with his mouth and with his hands, I think. But that being said, he's beat everybody he said he was going to beat. But now he's got himself into a serious situation, September 27th.
You mentioned the trash talk. Obviously, I imagine that could be a motivator for you, but also you don't want to get too emotionally invested, right? I mean, you have to be calm and you have to be smart.
Yeah, I was just talking, Mike Brown's one of my head coaches over here at American Top Team, and me and him were just talking about it. This fight, I've had trouble with that in the past, getting over emotional in fights, being over aggressive, getting hit with shots guys should have never touched me with. And this is going to be a big turning point in my career, going out there and fighting with skill and not anger and not being over aggressive. I'm going to find that perfect balance this fight and have a great performance. And it's just part of learning, man. This needs to happen.
I was going to say, all that said, fighting smart, intelligently, still looks like it's probably going to be fireworks when you guys get in there.
Oh, you better believe it, man. Like I said, I'm still learning, so we'll get in there. Hopefully I don't tuck my chin, bite down, and see who falls first, but we'll see.
like you, both of you like to throw. I mean, this seems like a perfect kind of fight for you to get in there and bang.
Yeah, but I'm a professional and I'm getting better and getting more technical, and that's turns it. He's fast. He's a good athlete. Seems like he might be a little bit of a puncher too. He's finished some guys, and that'll make it 50-50. Who's gonna land that big shot first if we start brawling? But man, I'm a fighter at heart. We'll see what happens when we get in there. I start throwing these things around, man, I can leave one hell of a mess too. So
now you're ranked in the top 10. It seems like he has more to gain from this fight. But you, like you said, you didn't want to wait. So a fight's a fight.
Yeah, I didn't want to wait. I saw a big opportunity to fight a guy who has a lot of light on him. A lot of people are talking about him. So why not use that to my advantage? Everybody thinks he's the next big thing. So let me show him he's not. That's the kind of attitude I had going into this. I didn't want to wait till next year to fight. I wanted a big fight, and we got it.